Big day, everyone. Not only do we have the statistics for the month of November to share with you, but we also have a very timely rate hike. Literally less than an hour ago, the Bank of Canada indicated that we're up another 0.5% on the overnight rate. So we'll kind of give you some indication on where that might flow through the market at the end of this video. But let's start by just looking at November and seeing what we learned. So in terms of sales volume, we're back about 14.5% from a month ago. That is not abnormal at all. In fact, we typically see about 7% of the calendar sales in the month of October versus about 6% in the month of November. So that is about a 15% change. So that's kind of normal. The sales volume itself is quite down. I mean, from a year ago, and that's kind of a bigger story. Active listings also following that same trend as we get to the end of the year. Fewer people are coming to market. So we're, a reduction of about almost 9% in active listings. A 6.1% increase in average months of inventory. This is a really key indicator of where things are going. We're very much into a balanced market at this point with 3.5 months of standing inventory. So, that's where we stop seeing so many multiple offers, et cetera, et cetera. Buyers have some time to think and some choices. So that's probably a good thing overall. In terms of average sell price, nice to see that things are kind of moderating, 636, 644, 624, 621. So it looks like maybe prices have stabilized a little bit. We are down 0.5%. But maybe the interest rate hikes and things have washed through the market and we're back at kind of numbers that are more sustainable. Moving on, this is the second month I'm reporting a month-over-month reduction in average sale price, year over year. So in other words, November 2022, we're at 680 on the average residential sale versus 717 a year ago. On the condo side, we're at 415 versus 432 a year ago for about a 3.8% reduction in average sale price. So that's interesting. We're reporting 2 months in a row now where average sale price, both residential and condo, are lower than they were a year ago. One more slide to share with you. What's happening with active listings? So November of 2022 versus 2021, well, we've got a 41% reduction in average sales and a 118% increase in average of active listings. So think about this, 846 sales this November versus 1456 last. 2,933 listings versus 1,340. So what does that translate into? It translates into this number of months of inventory. So everything was selling in under a month. Now we've got about 3.5 months of standing inventory. Now, let's talk about this 0.5 point rate increase and what it means to the market and what might happen with prices. Now this, I have to warn you, is not pure math or pure science. It's just a fun little way to dissect the math and what's happened. So here it is. We have, until today, we have had a 3.5% increase in the overnight rate. We have also had an 18% reduction in sale prices since that started. So March was about our peak. And if you look at average sale price today across condo and residential versus where we were in March, we're down about 18%. We've had a 3.5% increase in the overnight rate. So what does that translate to? We know that, or we could say that almost every point of increase in the overnight rate causes about a 5% reduction in average sale price. So that's kind of the math. Now, again, it's not pure science, but there it is. 3.5% increase in overnight rate, 18% reduction in average price, almost 5% per increase of 1% in the overnight rate. So what does that mean? We've just had another 0.5 point increase in the overnight rate. This could have an impact on average sale price in the range of about another, 2.5%. So again, more or less stabilizing, but things are still trending downwards from where we can see. And it'll be interesting to see what the new year brings. But if I was to give you a prediction about December, probably fairly slow sales volume. Prices are probably hovering around the 600 mark. And I don't see a crazy, super solid spring where things are going to rebound very quickly because the interest rates are holding things down. That's the intention of the Bank of Canada. So, amazing time to be in the market as a buyer and an amazing time to be a buyer and a seller. Maybe not the most ideal time if you're selling and getting out of the market. I might wait a little bit if that was the case, but most of you aren't doing that. So there it is. Let's see what December brings, and happy holidays to all of you. And we'll be back at the end of, I guess, the beginning of January to tell you what December brought us.